to be a nail-biter. It really comes down to team efforts. The two players I would pay attention to most, Justin and Metzenaars. Both of these guys are prolific in their roles, and what they open up for the other side of offense is the most important.
Well, I got to go into the game so you can take it away now. Achieves and James Bond.
Thank you, Richard. And you can see here all the matches happening simultaneously. We will try to keep you guys updated, and even in a break between our feature match, we will zone into one of these games and watch it and how it unfolds. So stay tuned for that. But right now, we've got our featured matchup, TSM versus NRG. This is game number 1, and Achieves, this one, a very important matchup right out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's two teams that played in the semifinals of the E-League. NRG didn't come out on top, and they're going to have to figure out an answer because TSM, when they beat them at NRG, it's just they're very unwilling to go for balls in the corners unless they're going to win them overall. And that strategy helped them versus Cloud9 as well. So they're going to have to figure out a way to beat these TSM guys out of the midfield, maybe get a few on transition.
Now we'll see at the first minute of gameplay. NRG's, their attack is looking pretty good. But now, counterattack up in the air. Justin blocking it at half. Fireburner down into the corner. Ignite, no boost, trying to wave dash to get to that ball. Gets a good challenge that'll send it off to the side. Metzenaars getting beat there by Garrett. Justin, the shot on target, but Remco, he was there to knock it aside. Good center ball. Garrett can just pop it. He was a little too far up, but it was the right idea from Fireburner.
And what's nice is there's plenty of space for NRG to work with in the field. They can find these passes to players no problem, and unfortunately miss. They're going to probably have to battle for possession here for a little bit.
Now a chance for Ignite, trying to drop it down. Garrett G on the backboard. Metza just stops it. Ignite flicking it back. Nobody's there. Now continued attack. Remco, weak shots. Easy saves for NRG. Now Justin. Metza getting challenged by Garrett. It's going to save a little bit of that boost. So 2 minutes off the clock so far. Still 0 goals happening in game 1. And that one, open net, Ignite with no boost. He had 1 boost, didn't even need to use it, and TSM on the board first.
It is a wonderful touch from Remco, utilizing that pass out into the midfield, not going into the corner, making it an easy defensive play for NRG, able to get it out, beat the guy on challenge, and then the unfortunate miss from NRG off the back wall, wide
Garrett,
open net.
That was Garrett trying to zoom in to deny that ball. He had to make that play. Ignite was in the perfect position to sink that shot. Now 2 players in that, Remco and Metza, both flipping towards it, but they were relatively grounded, so easy recovery from them. Now, you saw the double commit from Justin and Garrett, or maybe it was Fireburner. Looked like a pink car.
Fireburner's.
Yeah, that was definitely Fireburner. Now past the halfway point. Garrett going for that flip reset, but he missed it as well.
And you can see what I was talking about there with TSM. They just see Fireburner or Garrett G carrying this ball up the field, and they just let them bring the ball to them. They're not going to go up there and go and try and challenge that ball for a 50-50. They'll be like, do whatever you want. We'll take it away afterwards.
Yeah, and the midfield defense has been good so far from TSM. Denying the backward there. Ignite also jumping for that, though. So we're seeing a little bit of trouble. Garrett, he had a shooting lane, but it was quickly shut down by Remco racing out to that ball.
There is low boost TSM. They will probably have to give this ball up just to go stock the gas tanks. It's a nice challenge to delay the push from NRG, and we'll see if they can hang on to it, though, as Justin's also low. Yeah,
you can see Justin struggling. Justin also in the Dominus using a flat car, so we see both Fireburner and Justin using that flat Dominus. Remco as well.
Right through him.
Dunk from Fireburner. We talk about Fireburner in the Rocket League scene being the king of 50-50s to the point where it's a 90-10 for him. And look at
what
that.
A lovely read. You're absolutely right. We do refer to him. I like to call him Old Faithful just because you see him go up for a challenge and there's a, like you said, a solid 90% chance.
Yeah, you don't want to try to beat Fireburner in a challenge right there.
You can try.
You can try. I think that's a great way to describe it. Now with Justin. Hitting it down. Didn't get the greatest clear. See how TSM plays this one. Trying to get back. Ignite had no boost. Garrett going for the shot that went off the post. Follow-up from Justin, and that shot's high, but it gave a chance for Fireburner to come in, but he was too far away. Justin, he got his flip, perhaps. It looks like he might have been able to get another flip there in Rocket League. Oh, and then Fireburner with the follow-up, And just a relentless attack from NRG, and they finally get the goal.
Justin having a good idea to try and keep that ball close. Also, the demo in the net, or at least the bump on the defender, pushing them out of goal. Garrett G.
I thought iGnite had that hit.
He was
right
close.
there. You know, he was there flipping towards it, and it just didn't go anywhere. That allowed Garrett G to set up that goal for his team.
And I was actually going to be quite disappointed if NRG didn't walk away with the goal. Garrett G was able to march that ball up the field completely free of challenging out of the midfield, and it was so surprising to see the follow-up be so slow from NRG. But iGnite, a wonderful win on the challenge, but who else? Justin there to defend the back wall and a solid clear.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple demos as well from Fireburner. Fireburner in the past has been someone that has demos as a big part of their toolkit. Starting to work it in right now. Pop,
Make it
chance
three.
for Fireburner, post or crossbar down. 3-1 NRG closing this game out in the final seconds.
And the hat trick for Fireburner here in game one. A solid tip from Justin around the defense. And again, TSM just kind of caught low on the boost on defense, not really able to go up and challenge as aggressively as they would like, and it results in another goal and the end of game number one in favor of NRG.
I mean,
madness.
It's possible, but they need a goal right now and then have to get a kickoff goal. We've seen crazy games and crazy endings with NRG in the past. So now with that, NRG securing game one as the final seconds tick away. Remco perhaps trying to get one more, but nothing happens. NRG taking out TSM in game number one.
And I'm just going to take a moment here and laugh at Wavepunk because he said TSM, but I said NRG, so I get to have my moment.
It's a little
early. Or Lawler said that, not Wavepunk.
Early
Lawler, whatever.
for starting to post.
You are definitely correct. It is a little early.
Hold on.
No doubt. But it is a solid start
Yes.
from NRG. I mean, plenty of boost to work with. And honestly, TSM, I didn't really feel like they were able to ever get the offense going. There was that one opportunity.
There was the one play, and I mean, Garrett could have shut that down.
Garrett could have shut that down.
He was so close to getting that ball out of harm's way. And we're going to take a look at the stats here. Fireburner, a hat trick for him. Garrett G, 2 assists. Justin getting an assist of his own. But Fireburner, he was a player going into E-League. People were actually saying maybe NRG should drop him.
Which never makes sense to me.
And then in day one of E-League, he was incredible. Him and Justin going nuts. In game one, Fireburner getting off to a hot start.
Exactly. It's kind of the reason that Lawler wanted to talk about Fireburner on the desk a little bit, because again, you feel like.
Well, what did he want to say, Achieves?
I don't know if he actually said anything about him, but he was just like, Fireburner is a huge part of this team, and the reason we don't always talk about him is because he's overshadowed like these offensive powerhouses like Justin and Garrett G, and everyone's just like, well, if Fireburner's not on the same level as those guys, what's he even doing on that team? But that's just the completely wrong way to look at it. It's like he fleshes out that dynamic so well, and when you have a guy who can get you possession in the midfield whenever you need it, or just is not going to make a glaring mistake that costs you a goal, that's all you need.
He's just a guy who is so reliable. You know, he's
so
a rock,
reliable.
and he's not going to be a flashy player that really surprises you with what he does, which is something that can be an asset. With someone like Justin, you might not know what the heck he's doing when he's in the air. Fireburner, you can rely on him to get the job done.
And so TSM here in game number two, going to have to figure out a way to stop this offense from NRG, as they were able to do so in E-League, but currently off to a poor start.
Again, this is best of fives, round robin. All these teams trying to finish in the top 3 of their groups, especially if you get that number 1 spot, getting a bye in the first round of tomorrow. And now a chance for iGnite.
Got to be in.
Yeah, iGnite, he was...
It's tough, no
and this
doubt.
could be a chance if Fire can get around it. It's off the post,
yeah, okay.
Garrett G.
Garrett G, he knows.
He was sitting there waiting. Fireburner actually probably could have got this, but it was a tough angle.
It was close. The ball definitely a little bit too fast for him. He was going max speed. He couldn't get around it anymore. He just had to try and get
he had to go for it right away. And I mean, that's scary too, because if he gets that just a little bit more over to the side, it'll roll up the wall and pop high. So a good play from Fireburner.
But again,
putting that ball in a spot where Garrett can finish it.
And again, the transition game, the thing TSM struggling to really stop from NRG is a quick push down to the other side and one touch and in pretty much.
And it all started from iGnite having a really quality shot opportunity, putting it off the backboard. That started the counterattack. So we'll see if TSM, especially iGnite, who's one of the fastest players in the game, so quick in the air, an Xbox controller user, also has default control, so I don't know how the heck he actually plays as good as he does. But we'll have to see some magic from him. iGnite, again, a chance that he's putting wide, so it just doesn't seem like this is the iGnite that we are accustomed to on the offensive side.
Again, it is they're not easy shots by any means from Ignite.
But they're Ignite.
Exactly. That's the
those
thing,
shots.
is we've seen him hit those and more difficult, so odd to see him off to a rough offensive start, but sometimes it happens. You can't be on your game every day, but at the end of the day, if you're not on, then you're going to be out.
And it's still early. They're just down 1 game. Plenty of time left on the clock in game 2. Metza. Good pinch from him. That's going to send it all the way towards net, and it goes in. You don't see many goals like this in Rocket League.
You really don't.
What on earth?
It's just a long pinch upfield. It's a fairly easy read from the corner, and just nobody able to get there.
I mean, a fairly easy read. I don't agree with you, Achieve.
No,
that
no,
was
no,
like the most flukiest bounce.
It is a fairly easy read if someone's sitting in the net and sees it coming at them. Coming back from the midfield, yes, that's a very difficult read, and they just weren't able to get back there in time.
It is hard to put a ball into the corner and make it go on target, on net. So the fact that
he definitely wasn't trying to.
That was
just get that ball out.
I know. That was just, you know,
we take
a blessed goal for them, I guess.
Take those.
So TSM getting help from a higher power there to get that goal. See if they can capitalize in the game. We're all tied up. Garrett, shot towards
Lovely
net.
placement.
He saw the defender on net. Garrett G going to the far post. A beautiful shot.
And one more time, the transition game. Fireburner beating 2 people as he pushed that ball upfield. Loses it off the side wall. However, Garrett G again playing a wonderful support role for Fireburner right behind him, and just perfect placement to the far post, beating that last man. Lovely effort out of the midfield from Fireburner to set that up.
And Garrett G, another player we haven't even talked too much about, but he has been around for quite some time, all the way back to his Exodus and Orbit days. In the early days of Rocket League, Garrett has been on the grind, putting in so many hours, and continued to have success. And here he is, making his goal, or a statement right there in game 2. Metzanaris, the counterattack, getting demoed by Fireburner. Fireburner's been pretty ruthless with those.
Here's a good press, though. They need this. Oh, you're kidding.
How does this not go in? This was right there for TSM.
You're kidding. Another chance right in front of the net for TSM. They can't get the job done, and now Fireburner chucks the ball into the corner, says, TSM, you're not getting through us today, be it on the goal line or in the midfield. And TSM are trying both ways now. They have to do something, but they just, again, not enough boost in the tank to really get the offense going, despite NRG double committing all over in front of the net.
Absolutely, but time still on the clock, and opportunities here. Garrett, NRG's defense just refusing to let anything by. Another chance and a backboard denial. This clear going long, and now Remco popping it up. Metzanaris just trying to get this ball out. NRG on an all-out attack.
Oh, man.
And Justin, you hear players say this guy can put a shot on net from anywhere on the field. Well, look at this one.
Metzanaris trying to buy time, kick that ball out to the midfield, let everybody get reset, but even that wasn't enough time. He tried to recover.
Do you think that was going in? I mean, from the replay, it's kind of hard to tell if that was going post and out.
Corner and in. It was tough to tell. Either way, too close to call. Metzanaris tried to make the save, unfortunately just tapped it right in. And game 2, again, looking to go the same as game number 1 for NRG.
So TSM, they had that one goal that was quite fortunate. The bounce off the corner from Metzanaris, and they've had many, many chances. And now a long shot from Justin.
That one's through.
Metzanaris can't get back, and Justin with another shot from downtown.
So game 1, the game of Fireburner winning challenges and making nice shots and solid transition. Game number 2, the game of perfect placement for NRG, it would seem, as people are in position, but they're not in the exact right spot. Impressive shooting here in game 2.
So this one all NRG so far. Justin, Garrett, Fire all playing a role. And I mean, you've got to worry for TSM if this is how they're going to come out of the gate after being E-League champions. Maybe they're feeling that pressure from getting such a big org and having such high expectations. And now another.
It's a transition
NRG, they're just going for bounties at this point.
It's why not? It's a transition goal. They beat the man out of the midfield.
Clip that, baby.
Give it a couple.
Somebody clip that. Help him out.
Make it look pretty. Why not? And NRG cruising in game 2.
And not only could they get the golden grill, but you know they're going for that going viral.
Yeah, why not?
You could tell. And another shot going high, and Justin denying the shot. TSM they've got to be fuming right now that they can't get a goal by this NRG defense.
Well, this game, too, again, could have gone very differently. Remember, in the first minute, iGnight has 2 tough but doable chances on the net, and if he puts those in, and again, they've had even more right on the goal line here in this game number 2, albeit for NRG's amazing defense stopping balls right in front of them. And this game could have been totally different. I mean, this could easily be a 4-5 game.
I mean, that goal, like you said, NRG, they're taking game 2 as well. But this one could have been a different game had iGnight hit those early shots. It really could have. NRG looking so good right now, Achieves. Your pick, you know, maybe you can start bragging a little bit right now.
No, the offense is exactly what I wanted. I said, there's a reason I think it's their best chance to win a live event since X Games, and it's because you already know the type of offensive production you can get out of NRG. Just a couple of months ago, it was number 3 in the world in terms of goals per game. Like, this is a team that can put balls into the back of the net. And you saw the perfect example of it right here in game number 2. And you top it off with some solid defense. A lot of other teams that have beaten them before making roster changes. NRG is a great choice.
Yeah, NRG looking great. They're getting ready for their break. Obviously, this is the featured match after game 2. We're going to take short breaks to check out all of the other games that are going on. Just a reminder, there are matches going on simultaneously now. We're jumping into G2 versus TBD. Game 1 went into overtime, and G2 managed to win it, but now TBD up 4-0 in game 2. This is South America's first appearance ever in an international LAN, and look at what they're doing to G2 in game 2.
And again, the first thing you have to realize about this Boostenayer's team is they are not actually a team. It's an amalgamation of some of the best players out of the region. And to come out here, put up a strong showing like this in game number 2, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, I believe Vault is not. He is not a part of the team. Vault, or Firefox and Noisy are on a squad together. Vault.
Yes, Firefox and Noisy are part of Team Lotus, while Vault is over on Erodia.
Yeah, and these players are so young as well. 15 years old for Vault, the keyboard and mouse player, 17 years old on the other players, and they're coming out. The top teams in South America, not even sponsored. And they're coming out all the way to Las Vegas to represent their region. So it has been exciting to see them play so far, just in the scrims, and now we're getting to see them on the stream. And they're doing a heck of a lot of work right now.
A heck of a lot of work.
I wish we could have seen the 4 previous goals.
the overtime, yeah, that would have been great.
And the overtime.
But either way, a strong start for TBD, because again, a lot of questions. I mean, if you remember OCE when they first came into the scene, I mean, nobody gave them a chance, and we kind of had the same general attitude about South America coming in here. So having them go game 1 overtime, game 2 4-0 in their favor, this is a
These guys are here
start.
to play. They're here to play. Now backboard defense. Firefox helping out on that one. Rizzo popping it off the side. Chance for Chicago. Chicago off the backboard. Follow-up from Rizzo, and he probably should have put that on target, but another passing play, and JNAPS teaming up with Chicago to get this ball by the TBD defense.
That's one of the big weaknesses I might expect to see out of South America. That first shot that was off the back wall, they let that bounce.
Yes.
And you got to get up there, and you need to stop that ball from going back out to the midfield. And that's, I think, going to be one of the biggest hurdles for TBD as they learn to deal with a lot of the offense that a lot of these teams can bring.
Absolutely, and you know the different styles.
Who cares? Who cares?
You know, Firefox says, hey, you guys haven't seen the score yet. Let me do you a favor. Here's a goal.
Yeah, JNAPS went for the fake, but he used so much boost he couldn't stick with the ball, and Firefox looking in the midfield just fires one at the net, and lo and behold, nobody back on the G2 side. And, you know, we do have to talk about the G2 roster as well, to be completely fair, because their team that just made a big roster swap, the Mountain, has made his exit, and it is now Chicago that we got to talk to a little bit before on the Countdown show for him. And Chicago, you know, he's a great pickup. I mean, I talked a little bit to what's his name, Jazzo, yesterday, as JNAPS finds one here at the back of the goal, and I said, Jazzo, I asked him the first question, I said, why Chicago? And his first reply was, he's nuts. And I was like, that's a pretty good answer.
It is a good answer, you know. But EG making a move of their own, picking up Drippy. But Chicago, we'll see if that move pays off for them. You know, right now, TBD getting ready to close out this game, too. So this one will be an interesting match to follow. You want to stay tuned on Twitter. Stay tuned in Twitch chat to see how this series pans out. TBD equalizing the series.
If you're looking for the results around one and you want some juicy results, that might be a good one to check out.
I mean, I was not really sure what to expect with South America.
Absolutely.
They took a game off G2. That is huge.
They did it in dominating fashion, too. They made it look easy. And game number one, overtime as well. It's not as close as you might imagine, James.
Yes, but we're going to get an update to you on the other games happening right now. We've got Flipside currently up 2-0. Cloud9, they're winning their series 1-0. So here we go. We're going to check out the action right now. You can see Mystic going for that flick. But Afterthought, another team here that not a lot of people expected to come out and game. They're falling to Cloud9 right now, but we're going to see Flipside versus Chiefs. Chiefs, a team that had to deal with that departure of Drippe, the Oceanic MVP, getting sniped by EG. Now they pick up Zen to try to fill his shoes, a young keyboard and mouse player with a lot of mechanical promise.
But this is a good start as well for Chiefs because you were talking about a little bit, how do you replace, nice touch from Mystic.
And Mystic getting the lead here for Flipside. You can see him getting the play right there to Cookser. Cookser just keeps blasting it off the wall. Mystic, how does he even know to be there?
The big payoff from that one is the placement off of that back wall because Torsos is having his car angled towards net. He can only drive into net. There's no way he can back up and play defense on that touch. And Chiefs have no choice but to let them have a strong chance there. And Mystic, like you said, you don't know how he's there, but either way he is, he finds
another chance for Mystic. Good control on the first touch. The center ball, Speed wasn't able to make the play right there, but another pass into the middle. Cookser was waiting. Mystic has been distributing the ball. A playmaker from what we've seen just seconds so far.
Goodness.
And now Speed and Cookser getting involved.
And Speed here, a nice touch out into the midfield. Cookser says, I know this play's over in the corner. Let's dish it right back out.
That play right there.
And the pass from Speed to himself just
so
beat
good.
the defender because he was expecting the ball to just roll up the wall.
And he was thinking Speed was going to push that ball out against the wall, but such a slow play from Speed. Bait the defenders in. Cookser coming in through the middle. Love to see it. And now looks like Kami crowding Torsos right there. And these are two teams that had to make roster moves that they didn't necessarily want to make. Losing, arguably their best player. And Zen, he's the one filling in for Drippe, getting Chiefs within one from Flipside.
And it's a lovely challenge from Torsos there as well. Had to be two people, and it just popped right out across. Zen was on his way over to go steal the boost. And either he's got ball cam on or someone says it's coming right at you, and he just wheels right around it. It's a lovely place shot into the back post. The Chiefs not quite out this game number 3, and they need a win if they want to have a chance to stay in this series. A long booming clear from Cooks here, though.
And it's so important to get these series wins. 2 teams from each group will be eliminated. Only 3 teams from each group can move on. Chiefs about to get swept. Now Mystic pass to himself. Slow play going for the ground pinch. And now Kami up the sideline. Going for a challenge, but Speed was there waiting. Torsos hitting it into the corner. Cooks are prowling, waiting for it. Gets that ball across the backboard. Speed tried to get a hit. Not the greatest touch from Zen, but it did set up Torsos, so perhaps he didn't see that he had the space. Now Mystic off the ceiling over to Cookser. Cookser back to Mystic. That was almost a going viral moment.
So close, but I honestly think it's a little too risky for the scoreline right now. Either way, just hang on to it. Flipside, they've got good pressure here. It's on Chiefs to break out, and these demos making it so tough.
And Cooks saw that net was open after the Speed demo. Trying to get that shot on target. Now Mystic floating the ball up. Cooks are going for a challenge. A miss from Kami. This ball can't touch the ground.
He's got no boost,
and
no chance.
Hits it to the ground. Flipside tactics in round 1, taking the victory, taking this series over the Chiefs.
That's a good start for Speed as well, because he's the first guy that you get a chance to look at on Flipside. He's the guy everyone has questions about, and he did a lovely job here getting Flipside. And you saw just that pass out to Cooks here, that play in the corner. I mean, if that's the kind of stuff he's able to bring to Flipside, you think, sure, they lost Yukio, but they've gained a man who can enable.
Yeah, this is his tryout, so we'll see how Speed does it. They were able to get that first win versus the Chiefs in the series, but we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we will pick up the action from our featured series. We have NRG up 2-0 over TSM. You are not going to want to miss that.
Welcome back to the WSOE for the Rocket League Showdown. You can see we're all over this town and we're all over this game. NRG versus TSM for all the talk about how it might be a close affair. NRG 2-0 up, guys.
Yeah, pretty dominant from them. Big thing for me, iGnight needs to hit those shots. He's missing some that, yes, they're difficult, but he needs to make them. And then the other thing, counterattacks, they're getting beat by boost denied. They need to find a way to get some boost.
Yeah, if iGnite's not on game, TSM's got a long road ahead of them, and right now Fireburner is looking excellent, who's also the player we have the most questions about, I think, on NRG. So NRG's really got this one. It's their match to lose at this point.
Well, we've had that little pause, little break in momentum. Maybe TSM can start getting their act together and come back. We're going to find out. I'm going to now throw you over to the commentators to close out our first feature game. It is of course, Achieves and James Butt.
Thank you, Richard. Achieves, I'm with Lawler on this one. We were talking about it even before. iGnite, he is such a key player for this TSM offense. He's going to have to hit those shots for TSM to even get back into this. I mean, it's best of 5. Time is running out.
And now's the time to see what adjustments they've made, because we checked out all the other matches. So TSM had some time to think. Let's see what they come out with here in Game 3.
Now TSM back to the wall in this series versus NRG. This is a round-robin tournament for the first phase. So while they won't be eliminated right now, it's certainly not going to help their efforts of finishing top 3 in the group, or even that #1 seed that gets the first try tomorrow. And another chance there for Metza, but he put that wide.
And the first thing I see is TSM trying to be much more aggressive on the challenge. They'll even go fight for the ball in the corner just because they realize that letting them have that space has not played in their favor.
Now Garrett and Justin looks like getting a piece of that. iGnite switching to Batmobile, so you do see a car change coming out, and Remco, the captain, able to find the top corner.
That's the 3rd goal in the entire series for TSM. A nice pass off the back wall from iGnite, and the perfectly placed shot to the back corner. Upper 90, a lovely placed shot from Remco, but iGnite able to beat the defense there, smash it off the back wall, nobody home to block it. And they get the job done.
And we haven't talked much about Remco, a former world champion with Team Northern Gaming at the time, Turbo Pulsa and Devo, his teammates. And now a quick response is to Achieves. How does NRG answer back this quick?
The funny thing is I'm not even sure, because I'm sitting here writing down the details of the last goal, and now all of a sudden there's a challenge in the midfield. Garrett G comes up, catches the ball on a perfect catch.
Metza, he might have been trying to dodge that bump attempt from Justin, cheated up a little bit too far, and then that cut from Garrett just completely caught Metza by surprise.
It was a perfect catch, really. That's what it really came down to, was Garrett G's ability.
First touch.
The first touch was so good, and a 1-2 banger out of the midfield. iGnite to Metza Norris. TSM take it right back.
And we got 2 heavyweights just having a slugfest right now. Metza Norris, after the kickoff, able to get it by the defender that was challenging him, and the final one in net. So Metza Norris, we talk about that roster move coming over from Complexity. Metza Norris was never able to lift a trophy with his Complexity brothers over when they were Method as well. But with this squad finally able to lift that trophy. He's making a play right there. And TSM, they need this game victory to get back into it. And you got to wonder if that break would help them. After an NRG 2-0 start, with this format now, we have to take those extended breaks. So you got to wonder if that's going to help TSM stabilize.
And you definitely got to, I definitely think it will, because you take 10 minutes, you really think about what the biggest problem is you've been dealing with on that team. And, we as commentators obviously have our own opinions, but they might have others. And Remco, he's on fire in this Game 3. Make it 2 for him.
And another situation, Remco over to iGnite, back to Remco. But we're seeing these in front of net plays where somebody from TSM is able to beat that NRG defense by a split second to get that shot on net. And Remco, again, he started that play with the pass over to iGnite, and he finished it with that shot.
And another thing, this is wide open net. Metz not able to get it there. A nice diving stop from Justin. But another thing you might have noticed in this game, iGnite, 3 assists. They said, all right, maybe we just have iGnite stop shooting the ball and let him just beat people.
And you can see a lot of times people changing cars, it's an attempt to just change your mentality, get out of whatever you're feeling in the series so far. iGnite making that change, but really Remco has been the guy for TSM that has been bringing them back into this. 2 goals for him and just amazing shots. Now Remco chasing the ball into the corner. Metza, it's gonna go wide. Garrett still touches it now. Gonna get another play on the ball, trying to flick it. But iGnite breaking up the play. iGnite now off the backboard. Justin hitting it downfield. Garrett's waiting for it. Tried to fake out Remco, but Remco didn't bite. Was able to clear it out. Not a good touch from Justin. Gonna try to turn around. Fireburner also dove for that ball. NRG in trouble.
But did they use too much boost trying to keep this ball on offense? Metza fighting with nothing. That's going to take him way out of position here. Can they transition? And a nice stuff from Remco, just closing the gap as fast as possible, not letting NRG beat them on transition like's been a problem earlier.
Yeah, and that play that he went for, going for that chip play off the backboard, it's so much nicer to attempt with a Dominus or a Batmobile flat car. And that's something Remco is comfortable with it. Justin just challenging the TSM defense all by his lonesome, popping it up to himself, and then flipping underneath the ball, boosting the ball past Metzenaris. That is mechanical excellence from Justin.
And he had the space to do that because two members of TSM ran into each other, one rotating back, one trying to rotate up to go challenge, smacked into each other, had the space to work with, and Justin punished them for it.
So NRG, despite that hot start from TSM, they're within striking distance.
With plenty of time.
Garrett, not much boost. Gonna go for that corner steal. He did get the corner boost, but Justin will have to make a play on nothing. Hitting it over to Garrett. Garrett, long clear. That's gonna allow Justin to get boost. We'll see if a backward clear comes out. Remco didn't get a lot of distance, and now Justin taking over. Going for that pass. And now net was open for a brief second. Justin attacking it, but he ran out of boost, and also the TSM defense got back in time, but NRG threatening.
And they're threatening because they command those two midfield boosts. They're not letting TSM out of their half, and even if they do find a clear, there's just nothing to keep the drive going back the other way.
Fireburner was able to get that full boost in half. We'll see if he can use it here. This is a chance for him. Going up, passing over to Garrett. Garrett, looks like Metzenaris was able to get just a slight part of that ball, and now a shot. That one would have been wide, but Metza still clearing it out. And now Garrett, a demoing Metza mid-air. Justin going for a ground pinch over to Garrett. Garrett attempted a pop, but challenged in the midfield yet again. Final seconds. iGnite leaves it for Remco. Justin over to the side. Metza gonna try to get this ball touching the ground.
Oh, unfortunate.
A touch from Justin, still up.
They're toast.
Garrett, and now that's gonna be it. TSM stay in the series. They secure game number 3.
And they will battle back off of the efforts of iGnite, setting up 3 goals for his team there, and a masterful finishing job from Remco as well, putting on a clinic on how to shoot the ball like a god. So a very well done job from TSM there in this game number 3. However, NRG, like we said, they were in striking distance at about a minute and a half left, and you see the stats here. A lot of offense for NRG, but at the other end of the boards, TSM able to equalize much easier, equalize in offensive opportunities, limit some of those chances from NRG, and get more for themselves. So
yeah, and I mean, Lawler said, look for iGnite to hit those shots. He didn't have to this game.
They didn't have to.
You know, he was setting up the shots from Remco. And honestly, when TSM won E-League, it was Remco who was going insane on the offense. iGnite definitely helped, but Remco was, you take a look at him and you're like, who is this guy? Who is this Remco coming in from? Like, how is he hitting these shots? He is a player who's been around for a very long time, an RLCS veteran, going through ups and downs, and right now he's definitely playing on this on an uptrend. But certainly with his shots that he's hitting this past game.
Well, there was that. There was a nice featured article that the ARIA Esports people put out about him, the Rocket League profile, and Remco had some thoughts about how he's feeling after, you know, going through the, as the article put it, the peaks and valleys, and he's definitely been on the grind for a long time, and that E-League victory just really culminated that journey for him. So he's definitely on the up and up, and right now they need to get through one more game to really start off strong here at WSOE.
We'll see if they can do it. NRG just need one more game to close this out. TSM, they're trying to battle back into this series. Center ball off the backboard, a tough read for iGnite. That's gonna drop down Fireburner. Maybe he didn't have boost, but he couldn't get to it in time. A bounce shot finds its mark.
And the funny thing is you could tell iGnite saying, don't hit the crossbar, don't hit the crossbar, get it under the crossbar. He ended up bouncing it, maybe gave a chance to the defense.
That probably wasn't the shot that he wanted, right?
Exactly.
He probably wanted to hit that hard into the net, over to the side, but you will take it. iGnite, I mean, that was a very difficult read. He had almost no time to calculate how that bounce was going to go off the backboard. So iGnite making a read, getting this early lead for TSM, and a mind game from Justin, breaking axles, busting mines. Look at this one achieves.
And Fireburner, lovely job getting that ball away from the defense, pulled out two and just slammed that away. Mind games, get out of here with all that.
I thought it was a mind game from that angle, but it was a bump. Holy moly.
Fireburner doesn't beat two, he beat all three.
Yeah, that was
Excuse me.
My bad. I need to get my vision checked. But what a bump from Fire. He was bringing out demos
Transition,
earlier,
dangerous.
but now bumps also making a mark.
Well, you talked about it back early on in the series as well. Said that's been a big part of his repertoire for a very long time, the physical play from Fireburner. So, you know, show everyone you still got it.
And he did there. Tied up, 1 minute passed, 1 goal apiece. Now Justin at the half field, or at the midfield rather. Garrett dropping this down. Metza trying to get that to Remco, but Fireburner there. And now an open net for Fireburner. He doesn't miss these, and NRG take the lead.
And this looks like one of those ones where iGnite thinks that ball's rolled. No, he definitely jumped off the wall. It just didn't make the right read, because I know sometimes if you're sitting on that back wall and a ball comes at you from the midfield, it might look like it's rolling along that back wall, and you expect it to continue rolling on the corner, and then it just bounces around you. But unfortunately, iGnite saw the bounce coming and just didn't get the right read.
Yeah, and then a misread there costing him. Now Garrett G almost getting his flip back off the ceiling. Remco buying time for his teammates. iGnite, that shot will easily be saved by Garrett. Metza trying to keep the attack going for TSM. Now iGnite with his challenge. Fireburner hits it downfield. Metza center ball to Remco. Remco missed that hit. Now Justin takes over. iGnite with the challenge, but Garrett outlet pass to Justin, goes back to Fireburner, and Fireburner gets the clear.
Again, TSM running into each other in the midfield. It's going to delay their ability to challenge this ball, and they'll have to fight for possession from their own half. Thankfully, a nice bump over on the offensive side of things lets it stay here in the midfield and have a chance.
Now backboard pass, but Metza was upfield already. He's trying to just slow down this counterattack from NRG, but Garrett has some space to work with. Going off the wall, gets his flip back off the ceiling, but shut down for Metza. Now ball in the corner. iGnite clearing it out. iGnite another hit down towards the backboard. NRG does not let those bounce out into the middle. Now Fireburner on the backboard, keeping possession.
It's a nice bump from NRG on Metza right there as they try to cut across that NRG top of the box to keep that ball locked into the orange half. Unfortunately, some space given, and there's no way to hang on to this for TSM, I don't think.
Yeah, Fireburner did make a good play there, flicking it by iGnite and stealing the corner, but now TSM on the attack, bouncing off the ceiling, and Fireburner, he was scrambling back, somehow making that scrappy save. And now a shot, point blank, net wide open, and we are tied up. TSM at the hands of iGnite, getting that equalizer.
And Fireburner trying to make a tough read on that touch from Metza out to Remco on the side wall. Remco's there first as he beats the defense out of the net. The pass up to the middle, goes off the crossbar again. You thought maybe another one gonna go awry for TSM here, but the follow through from iGnite finds the back.
So iGnite making that necessary play. We'll see how NRG responds if they can, or if TSM will get back-to-back victories and force the final Game 5 of the series. Justin going for the backboard solo play. Out to Garrett. Garrett pops it up, but a demo from iGnite on Fire. That's going to slow down the attack. Fireburner missing that challenge. Justin over to Fire, but Fire just lets it through. Smart play from Fire.
It worked, because Remco definitely thought he was going to touch it, and he definitely was caught a little bit off guard by it.
But still, TSM sieging this NRG defense, not letting them out of their half. And a shot from iGnite. Garrett with a save into the corner, picks up full boost.
The boost now definitely favoring TSM. They control the battle out of the midfield, and TSM, or NRG, excuse me, having to really battle for possession here out of their own half.
And you
As
see
look, they're already
Remco
there.
from the wall, and he wasn't able to put the shot on target. But a heads-up pass from Metsanaris, seeing Remco on the other side of the field. Now pinch back into the corner. NRG hasn't been out of their half in quite some time. Now Justin forced to make an awkward hit.
Oh, there we go. That's a nice challenge.
But still, Metza was the first one up, dropping it down. Garrett getting muscled out of the play by Remco.
Does it pay
Center
off?
ball, Metza, the shot off the crossbar, bouncing out.
And a welcome clear from Fireburner, but Remco's going to try and keep things going. I think that'll, oh, maybe
It's
not.
still alive. Metza, the center ball, and now overtime, game number 4. This could be a decider. If NRG can punch this one in, they'll close out the series. TSM, they have other plans.
And the first minute going to be very telling here. NRG, I think, need to gain command of this overtime early. They don't want to start right where they left off, struggling for boost.
TSM, they were controlling the tempo of the match, locking NRG in their own half.
Especially in that final 90 seconds or so.
Yeah, but it's just one goal. One counterattack goal is all it takes to close out the series for NRG. But TSM, these guys are hungry. They know how to win. Justin leaving us some space. Almost a crazy goal there. That one found the back of the net.
And there seems to be some real miscommunication on NRG on defense right now. I think they're trying to figure out who should be going for what in these very tough scenarios where they're constantly caught slightly out of position, having to make tough reads, and whenever they get all close to each other, it gets a little sketchy for them.
Even there, that was a really tough read that Justin had to make after the touch from Garrett. So, you know, it's picking up right where it left off at Chiefs, which was what you were worried about. TSM has been controlling the attack. They haven't let NRG do anything.
Well, they were quite fortunate that TSM just missed that ball, and they got a chance to leave. Unfortunately, they pinched it back into their own half.
Oh, and that could be dangerous. The center ball, TSM working so well together, finding those players coming in from the wings. Now Garrett getting beat by Remco on that 50-50. Remco racing to it, steals the corner boost, goes for the center ball, but Justin denied it. Now Fireburner going for his 50-50. This ball still stuck in the NRG half. It just feels like a matter of time before TSM puts this one in.
Welcome clear from Fireburner to earn some space, but they need to win this next challenge, and there we go.
And that could be it. Garrett, with that save, he got it perfectly off to the side, but Metza wasn't able to get a strong shot towards net. TSM just battering this poor NRG defense. How long can they last?
And the problem is TSM, they know exactly the clears that NRG have at their disposal. They're lurking right in front of stuff, and this dribble might be their best chance, and not even that's going to work out. Remco just shoves Justin off the ball.
Now, iGnite, that was a tough block for Garrett.
Is that what they needed?
We'll see, because now a chance for a counterattack, but TSM right back to it. Justin to the corner, Metza distributing to the ball to his teammates, waiting on the side so well all game long. Now Justin off the wall to himself, clear attempt, just trying to get this ball, this attack started for NRG. They have not been on the attack in quite some time. Chance, and Metza with the save.
Turn around, are they still there? This is a huge scramble for TSM.
No boost from Metza.
And just panic for TSM in front of the net. Thankfully, everybody from NRG probably empty on resources and had to give a little bit of ground, so the extra breathing room.
Wow, that could have been NRG's chance to strike. It was a moment of vulnerability for TSM.
But they do have them almost boxed into their own half, and that's a lovely clear from TSM.
Oh, the
right
center. And a double commit in net, but Fireburner gets back to the ground quickly. Fireburner just trying to dribble that one out, slow play. Garrett's gonna have to go for this. He can't let that double tap attempt happen. That shot, Fireburner handles it. Garrett turning as well. Garrett popping it by one. Now ball out into the corner, Fireburner. Now Justin, a demo, that could be a chance for NRG.
And iGnite, tough read to be asked for, and that's what demos are so good at.
Dangerous center in the save from Remco. 4 minutes into overtime right now. Both NRG and TSM forced to make goal line saves.
And a lot of space being given by NRG in the midfield. They get a couple of nice centers, but nobody there to really follow up for it. It just lets TSM off the hook too easily.
Now Remco trying to force this attack through. Fire got full boost. He's gonna get another touch here, but Metza with the challenge. Justin taking his time. A delayed flip there, but it was predicted. Now Fireburner is gonna be high. Fire going for that demo in net, forcing the defender to jump.
Unfortunate touch from Justin. I think he wanted that one to roll along the back wall and go stay high away from that defender that Fireburner just tried to bump, and now is a bomb up the
not
pitch.
the greatest hit, but Justin was able to get to it before iGnite. And now we have hit 5 minutes, another full regulation game of Rocket League played in this
Demo.
overtime.
TSM definitely feeling some pressure, but again, I just don't feel like it's enough. That
On a miss
cutthroat
there.
attitude and a huge miss.
Garrett G, he probably didn't expect iGnite to whiff on that. So TSM starting to show cracks.
Cracks aren't enough. NRG, they've got the chisel in it. They just have to bang the hammer on it.
Yeah, get that rubber mallet. Gonna need it now. The center ball, that one going across net. It was a dangerous spot, but no one from TSM was in the attacking position. Fire with a flick by one defender. Garrett, that bump, or that bounce catching him by surprise. He's not gonna be able to make the play. Justin had to help out. Now Garrett backing up. Passes to the side, Fire going for the backboard pass. Remco getting hit. Garrett has 0 boost, has to go all the way back to his corner for boost.
And it's because Metsanora is controlling that midfield boost. Justin was going to be there for that challenge in the midfield, but since there was no boost, he couldn't go up the wall. And again, TSM understanding where the ball's headed next. They're already there, and it's so tough for NRG.
And this could be a chance. Not a lot of boost for Remco. Not able to make that hit. Did steal the corner boost, and that one forced to get saved by Justin. Garrett G downfield. Fire let that one through. Now Remco. Justin didn't bite. Good patience from him on defense. Pops it up. Now Metza and iGnite both up in the air. A chance for NRG. This one going off the backboard. Remco has to get the hit.
Whoa.
And he did get that ball to the corner into safety.
And that's the important thing. It's so easy to misplay that touch and have it go straight off your back wall and right to the top of the box. The timing to just have that bounce off the wall and then tip off your corner into the corner of your car and into your corner was just masterful.
And this is a grueling overtime. 7 minutes we've reached without a goal in this overtime. Now a chance for Metza, lets it through. And that one now pushed to the side. This is going to be such a boon for whichever team can make this win happen.
You feel if NRG don't win it here, you don't know what to think about Game 5. A little tip off the back, and that's a shot. iGnite.
iGnite closing it out. 7 minutes and 22 seconds. The little touch from Remco. Justin tried to clear it, but it looked like iGnite might have even got pool shot into that. What an ending. TSM stay alive in the series, and we are going to Game 5.
Chances, so many chances for NRG, but just either didn't have the resources or didn't have the time to go up there and force the ball through into the net. TSM battle back, go all the way to 5 games after starting off 0-2. And NRG, the pulse going to be racing a little bit here because they think we started off so strong, and now it's all down to 5 minutes, and NRG just played a solid, what, almost 8 plus 5 is
a lot.
Is hard.
It's
13,
a lot. Yeah, I'm not
13 minutes.
try. Honestly, I wasn't even listening to the numbers.
Now you gotta go play another 5.
We just went through that 7-minute overtime, and looking at the stats, a playmaker award from Remco. iGnite with the hat trick, stepping up, getting that last goal. I mean, that last goal so critical. It looked like he might. I couldn't tell. I have to see the replay again to see if whether it got pull shot or whether he actually made that shot. But regardless, iGnite
all the hits
cleaning
from
it up.
Remco, just that little kick off the back of his car, just made the defender in the net hesitate, not be able to go for it, and slap that back into the corner for the added safety, and unfortunately iGnite decided to end him there, put in a 7-shot performance and 3 goals. So we were saying after game 1 and 2, the guy's got to find the back of the net. Well, he did it there in game 4, so game number 5 comes up, and NRG, lots of shots, but not enough pressure to really generate that goal-scoring chance. TSM, lots of shots on target. NRG having to make a lot of tough saves, and again, first minute of this game, I also feel very telling. NRG, I think, need a hot start.
And this is a moment of worry for NRG. They started out the series 2-0. Now TSM roaring back, going for this reverse sweep. That's 7-minute overtime. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now Garrett in the corner. He's just going to solo play it all by himself. Garrett G striking first for NRG.
And this is where NRG has had a lot of success scoring goals. They beat people on challenges. They make people miss with dribbles. When they're able to beat TSM one-on-one, that's when they've had a lot of success. The passing plays have been shut down. The long clears have been starting to get shut down. TSM too aware of what's going to be happening next unless they expect their team to come out on top, and they don't.
Well, that is exactly, if you're an NRG fan, that is exactly the start you're hoping for. You have to stop the bleeding after losing a game like that, and now, you know, being tied in the series, striking first, that's certainly going to help them out. Yeah, absolutely.
That right there, they had a chance to transition on an open net, and Fireburner just couldn't find the angle to get it in.
Now, play here at midfield by Garrett. Fire getting back, passing it over to Garrett. Garrett taking control of the ball, pinching it off the ceiling, off the backboard. Now Fire, center ball. No one there for it. Metza is going to get the boost and the touch, but Garrett on the challenge.
Lovely
double
read.
tap,
Oh,
forcing iGnite to make the save, and almost got that third tap.
And that angle from the corner is what's so tough, and this one low, just making the defense move left, right, up, down. TSM diving bodies and able to make the stops, but can they find the clear that relieves the pressure? Because I criticized NRG on the pressure game in game 4, not so in game 5.
Yeah, they have come out swinging. You could see even there just a second ago, a demo into a bump. NRG playing physical. That's what they need. Fireburner, the follow-up shot. Metza and net keeps it out.
It's a great read from Fireburner to be right there for that touch from iGnite. Unfortunately, the quick transition, TSM might have a chance to box him in here, but the touch right back to Fireburner and NRG again.
And that was a really good counterattack by Remco. Getting control of that, a very short time period that he had to work with. The flick, now a chance for him on the shot. Getting that ball knocked away, a save coming out. So TSM starting to show some life in this final game of the series.
Dribble it. Couldn't, just because TSM right on top of things. That's a big miss from Metanaris, however. There will be some extra space, but what a turnaround from Remco. My goodness.
Remco trying to keep TSM on the attack. A position they're familiar with. Now iGnite getting beat there by Justin on that 50-50. Another demo coming out, and Garrett's going to have some time. We'll see what he does with it.
Oh, that's a lovely high tip, but again, just able to win 2 challenges. Garrett G again,
risky
beating 2
play.
people.
That was a risky play right there, because if iGnite was just a split second faster,
he loses.
Yep. So Garrett going for a play, making it work. The only goal of the game so far coming from his bumper. Now Remco off to the side. Garrett double tap, hits the shot.
Oh my goodness.
Look at the plays from Garrett G.
And we've had monster performances from all 3 members of NRG in this series. Whew. Game 1, Fireburner. Game 2, Justin and Garrett getting it done. Game 3 and 4, Justin trying to do things. And now here in Game 5, Garrett G's decided to say, I'm going to be the only offensive factor you need to worry about, and put 2 unassisted goals into the back of the net.
Garrett G, the grit and determination he has showed. That first goal unassisted, just a solo play from him dunking on Remco, and now that double tap, just excellence at the individual level from Garrett G. That could be enough to put NRG over the top in Game 5. TSM still have time to battle back. And that shot from Garrett.
You're kidding.
That is a hat trick for him.
Why not? Just a huge clear from Fireburner. Perfect timing. Garrett G, I don't even know what he's doing on that end of the pitch. But there he is. and they find the goal. That's
You know,
nuts.
there's a saying in Rocket League, oh my Garrett.
Oh my
That is-
Garrett.
in this game right now is an oh my Garrett moment altogether. Garrett G getting the hat trick, approaching the final minute of gameplay. NRG, you know, it seemed like they had their backs to the wall. TSM controlling the offense in the previous game, 7 minutes of grueling overtime. TSM coming out on top, all signs pointed towards a TSM victory, but now just 60 seconds left. NRG trying to close this out. Justin in the corner picks up full boost, gonna go around the ball, let Remco hit that, and now counterattack chance. Justin, that shot on target.
Yes, sir.
Right in the top shelf. Justin, again, a long-range goal. He's been doing it all series long.
And Remco just trying to make something happen here. It's an easy clear for Fireburner. Says, Justin, do whatever you got to do. And like you said, that's right on target. Just a boomer up the pitch and into the net.
And Justin, and now Garrett, a
Why not
open
five?
net.
Why not five?
TSM on tilt right now of kickoff goal. Garrett G just padding the stats. The Golden Grill bounty is what he is aiming for.
And you thought maybe TSM, they get that couple minutes break in the middle of this match. They come back, win 0-2. Both one-goal games, not easy affairs, either of them. And then game number 5 just crumbling under the pressure from NRG that just needed a second to seem to get restarted.
30 seconds left, a 5-goal deficit at this point. TSM just going to try to save some face, but NRG, this is a massive series win for them. The E-League champions, the last major that we had in Rocket League. TSM, the world champions. Now, NRG coming out in their group, and they're going to take this series off of them and do it in spectacular fashion. You know, almost getting reverse swept, then answering back. Garrett G just elevating NRG in the final game of the series. They take it over TSM 3-2, going the distance, 5 games, a 7-minute overtime. NRG staving off that reverse sweep.
Staving it off, and it was not easy. Garrett G, I think, just took a little bit of a deep breath there and said, whew.
Like, what just happened?
That's a close one,
What
guys.
just happened?
But a strong start to WSOE. For my personal favorites, NRG, I think they have the ability to win it all, and coming out here with a tough but solid win over TSM. And like you said, Garrett G, 7 shots, 4 goals, involved in 10 of their goals throughout the entire series.
And I can't even say how important that first goal was for Garrett. You know, Garrett G getting that quick solo goal, that was massive at that point because they had just lost that 7-minute, 22-second, or however long overtime was. That first goal, that stabilized NRG, and then just kept going.
Another unassisted goal as well. Garrett G just dragged NRG from the brink of defeat in that game number 5. So a well-deserved win for NRG and them.
Yep, so we're going to take a look at the stats, I believe, from that match.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, guys, they're joining us. The desk.
Same thing.
Stats. Sorry, I was saying what I hoped I would see. Except for you, Richard. You know, I love to see you over there.